How to achieve your goals without using any force. This was the game changer for all of my goal achievement, and it has to do with stop facing reality. Now, for an overthinker, an anxious person, and one who loves to control things, I'm a planner, this was one of the hardest lessons for me to learn, which is why it took me so long to reach the goals that I wanted to reach. So here is what we're going to do today to rewire our default program to make sure that we stop using reality as the lens through which we choose what is possible for us, because our reality has nothing to do with what is going to come into our future, but it blocks us because we get so fixated on what has happened, we don't allow anything to change into what will happen. And this is why we feel stuck. This is why we feel defeated. This is why we second guess and why we don't trust life or ourselves. So we are going to change all of this because this was the goal changer. This was the needle mover. This was everything that helped me change my entire life and create momentum. I'm going to use the example that I just used, which is finding the love of my life. Now, this is totally off topic, but really important for me to say. I do not want you to settle. If there is any part of you in any part of your life, whether it's your job or your relationship where you're questioning, is this where I'm supposed to be? It's not. I'm telling you, because I was there. I had that voice in my head going, well, maybe this relationship is the best because it's what I've got. It's okay. You know, things are decent. I could see myself being okay with this person and maybe it will be okay. No. None of that energy. If you are not totally thrilled with where you are, you can have it. I am so in love with this person. I am so blessed I did not settle. So do not settle, create. Do not settle, create. What I mean by that is stop facing reality and using reality as the evidence, as the proof that this is as good as it's going to get. That you have what you have, so just be grateful. Be grateful, but be eager for more. So your reality contains a current identity. The current identity that you hold, I like to call your default program, is your belief systems, what you've experienced, your past traumas, your past understandings around what's possible for you, any failures, any events that you have gone through, have all created this current identity. And this current identity has created your current reality. So if we want your reality to change, we have to stop using this current identity in this current reality and shift it to a new identity, because this reality was created by your current identity. Your new identity will create your future. But if you do not change, your future will not change. So you understand, I am not saying let's change reality. I'm saying we start with changing you. Because there is a difference between taking action to make things happen and taking action because you have aligned yourself with the life force energy running through you, and there's nothing you can do but take action because you are so inspired. When you get there, you are right on track. Most of us are taking action from a desperate energy, which is why we're not seeing the results that we want to see. I did this while building my business, and I also just did this in manifesting in the love of my life, and this is the practice, the exact steps that I took to help shift my anxiety into hope, dreams, and excitement, which ultimately led me to the love of my life. So step one, we are rejecting reality. We're not even looking at reality. We're looking at it for maybe 10 seconds to say, great, we got some clarity, this is where we're going, and then we're shifting forward. But in order for us to shift forward, let's take a look at where you currently are. So I did this as I was trying to attract in my dream partner. And I was walking around thinking, I teach this stuff. I teach how to achieve everything that you want, and I cannot get this partner to come into my life. What is going on? What am I doing wrong? So I took some inventory And yes, I had the goal up there. I had the goal that I wanted to meet my dream partner. But you know what was behind that? Time constraints, worry, doubt, fear. I was walking around saying, I have no idea how this is going to happen. I'm really fearful that I'm going to be alone forever. At my age, I'm getting older and older. I'm missing out on all these opportunities. I don't know if this is ever going to happen to me. All of the good ones are taken. Did I make a mistake? Should I have just go back to the past relationship and just settled there because it's safe and comfortable? I know that they love me, and I know we had some good times. There was a lot of rough parts of our relationship, but I'm sure that can be ironed out. I was convincing myself to go back to the past, which is never a good idea. If you're not feeling it then, you're not going to feel it later. So I was going so spiraling, honestly, into my old identity, not even realizing it. So the step one part is to visualize what you want, not what you think is possible. So we're not facing reality. We're using reality to pull us forward, to create that momentum forward. So your current identity has created your current reality. So my past identity, but it was current at the time, was talking about how things aren't working out. I don't want to leave my house. I have no idea how this is going to happen. Maybe I should just control things and go back to the past because I know that is something that I could trust in, and all this is my story, right? I wasn't trusting in source. I wasn't trusting in my momentum. I wasn't trusting in any of my goal achievement. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't think it would. All right, that's my old identity. So if I want to create a new reality, I have to step into this visual of assuming things are going well for me. I don't even have to go to the end of saying I am married and walk around, because I tried that and that wasn't working. It was rooting me right back because I kept facing my reality. As soon as I said that, it would trigger me to face my reality and go, but you're not married. You're so single. And so whatever doesn't help you face your reality, or stop facing your reality, then that's not working for you. So that's what I had to learn. Okay, I can't go to I'm married, but I can turn my attention towards everything is working out for me. I have a perfect partner that I am so excited to love and to be loved. I love loving. I love loving everything. I love getting up in the day, getting myself ready, feeling fit, feeling confident, smelling good. I love that. I love that aspect of life. I love getting to explore every single day. And I wasn't even talking about my partner. I was just talking about who I am now that I'm that I'm creating reality, not facing reality. So I'm talking about I love being in love, which is a relationship, right? Like if I'm in a relationship, I am feeling love, but I wasn't talking about my relationship because that triggered me to look at my reality and say, oh, it's not happening. So you have to tell a story that's comforting to you, that soothes you and pushes you forward, not keeps you stuck in the past. It makes sense? So I'm assuming it's going well, meaning I am visualizing myself just excited to love. And every day I'd wake up and I'd be excited to love my plants. I'd be excited to love the food I was cooking. I was loving everything. I was just projecting out love. And that made me get into that feeling state of it already being fulfilled without having to do anything else. So I was shifting my identity to being love. The next piece is to protect that state. So you have yourself in that, assuming that feeling, you're feeling that you are loving, and then reality will come forward. Your default program will come forward and your doubt will appear, your fear, your anxiety, your overwhelm. Why? Because your old identity is still fighting to survive because that's your old default programming. It's an automated program, which means it's hard to just mull over. We have to work at it. So this is the protect ourselves from our old identity, our outdated default. Work on changing that default with this step by saying, I hear you, I get it. I am so in love with my reality because it's changing right now. Anything as simple as that, you're protecting that state. I know doubt, I hear you. I'll look at what you're doing, mind. I see it, thank you. That's my old way of thinking. I don't think that way anymore right now. I'm stepping into my love. That is the hardest part. So that is the key piece where we're not facing reality at all. When reality comes into your life and you're seeing it, you're saying, but I'm loving, but I have nothing to love. That's your, oh, whoops, I slipped in back into my old identity. I'm going to step into my new character, step into this new. We're constantly working on that. Okay, protect that state. And that leads into the third step, which is all about building that belief in not only what you want, but in your ability to attain it. So we are always working on that inner conversation. Every day we're improving. So do not think that you do this once and you're good to go. This is something that you're working on continuously. And this is how you are going to stop forcing action, and you are going to just receive the next impulse. You will be amazed. When you start to do this, you start to tell yourself, I love love. I love love. I love my partners getting ready for me. I love getting ready for my partner. I love that the universe has my back. I love that I don't have to worry about this. I love how my old self would use reality and be like, oh, panic mode. And now my new identity is like, oh, reality is just reminding me of where I'm headed. I'm so grateful for this clarity. I love that I get everything that I want. Now your doubt is screaming super loud at this point because that's your default. So you keep massaging yourself back away from doubt. The whole point basically is you're working on caring about how you feel, moving yourself in the direction away from your doubt, away from your fear, because it's always going to come up. It's your default. That's what it's been programmed to do. It's nothing wrong with your mind, nothing wrong with the program. We just are reinstating or recreating a new one. And if you need help with this, understand that you're just one shift away from a breakthrough that changes everything. And that's what every single one of my videos is here to do, to help you change your identity. And my program is there. I'll work one-on-one with you to make sure that we get you on track. There's packages with every single thing that you need, personalized directly to your needs. Because if you can stop facing reality, you will create a world that you can't even anticipate is going to come forward. You will be inspired to the action. So this is how my story ended up going. I was inspired to continue working on things that make me feel alive. I was focusing in on my passions. I was creating and focusing on me. And I was having a conversation with one of my best friends that I've had near and dear to my heart for the last 10 years. And he came forward to tell me that everything that I wanted to hear, and he was sharing with me things that I had written down that I wanted to hear from this person. This is all we had to do. I only stepped into the energy state. When it came to building my business, I did the same thing. The first thing is you visualize it going well. Second, you protect that state. Third, you build that belief, and then it's like source, God, your intuition is what I like to call it, comes forward and goes, I heard that this is something that you want. Let me show you where it is. Oh, I heard that you wanted this as well. You've been waiting for it for a while. Let me show you where it is. We can't hear our intuition. We cannot be guided if we are stuck facing our reality, if we're stuck in doubt, fear, anxiety. Change that default program so that you can be guided to where you're meant to go, because you can have and deserve everything that it is that you want. You're right on track. You have no idea how good life is about to get.